Jonathan is going to demonstrate the true strength of a Drac in its human imitation form by flipping this car on its side. These others are Dracs as well, and any one of them could flip this car on their own, but that wouldn't be acceptable to show. Even though they're not using their full strength, it's probably true that it would take 4 or 5 male humans to lift the car up this much.
You've all heard the news stories about, in an accident, a mum being able to lift a car to free a trapped child. They get these incredible moments of strength. What's interesting to me is, can you get yourself in a place psychologically where you can lift a car? And that's what we're going to try and find out today. I think I know how to do this.
A human can't do this, period. I don't care how much adrenaline you have in your system. Your muscles, ligaments, and bones can only take so much stress before they tear and break. He also had to reverse his grip about halfway up, which means that briefly he had only one hand on the car. It is possible that they removed the engine or put anti-gravity devices inside the car to make it lighter, but I don't think so. I think that the car is its full weight here. Those women lifting cars off their children are all Dracs, and all of the professional strongmen are Dracs. Jonathan is average size, and he was able to do this. He's at least twice this size in his native form, so the added weight and leverage alone would easily double his strength from this. Here's another strength demonstration, and he certainly doesn't look like an athlete. He lifts and moves the back end of the car with ease. Again, it's almost effortless for him, and he's laughing while he does it. I have no doubt that he could flip this car end over end if he wanted to. A guy from the bottom of the frame is going to walk up and instantly stop the car with his hands, right before it hits the parked car. I'm not sure if this is strength or some kind of force technology. He may have also increased his weight to accomplish this. Whatever the case, he does stop it when no one else could. And no human can do that. Dynamo is going to bench press 155 kilograms, 340 pounds. He says he weighs 112 pounds, 51 kilograms. So this is more than 3 times his normal body weight. If you're human, there's no way he could do this. But this is not a scrawny human. This is a giant alien compressed into a much smaller form, which still has far greater strength than a human of equivalent size. So you're really looking at a 10-foot tall, 6 to 800-pound creature lifting this weight. And its polymorphic ability gives it supernatural strength, regardless of the size of the muscles. He could press far more weight than this, but again, there's a limit to what they can show, even for him.
Давай! Хорошо. Не торопимся. Давай, не торопимся, сели. Давай, давай, не торопись. И выпад, давай. Давай. Встаем! Давай! Давай.
I have a quarter. One quarter. Quarter. Perfect. Okay.
This is either strength, or he's generating force and or heat from implanted devices. We'll look at force and heat generation later. Also notice that he's roaring the middle knuckles of his ring and middle fingers.
Just put your hands on my shoulders. On the count of 3, I want you all to push, yeah? One, 2, 3.
This is a combination of strength and weight increase. He may also be generating force to push against his back. The other 3 are probably pushing with close to their full human imitation strength, but if they went beyond that, they would push him over. Still, it shows that a Drac can be up to more than 3 times the strength of a male human, even in a small form like this one. This individual in Malaysia is going to pull a train with his teeth. If a human tried this, even the biggest and strongest man in the world, he wouldn't be able to move it at all, and he'd also lose some of his teeth. You see these kinds of events in professional strongman competitions, but they're not pulling quite this much weight, and they look like strongmen, so it's acceptable to show to the public. When it's Joe Average types flipping over cars and pulling trains, that's when it becomes questionable. A Drac in female imitation form could do this too, but that would be totally unacceptable to show. A small woman pulling a 10-ton vehicle, for example.
On Wednesday, a strong man in Georgia moved a semi-truck weighing over 8 tons. This would be a feat for any strong man, but to make...
They don't have cartilage in their ears, but as you can see, they can make that tissue extremely resilient and rigid if they want to. If a human tried this, the cord would rip through the ear, and the vehicle wouldn't move at all.
Today I moved 8.5 tons.
The 207-pound strongman has tried his skills before, moving objects like an almost 10,000-pound minivan and a 17,000-pound helicopter. He is already planning his next record-setting event 2 weeks from now. He wants to beat his current record of 18,000 pounds and eventually be recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records.
He's reverting his horns to show that he's a Drac. Again, there's no way a human could do this. They would pull every single hair out of your chin, and you'd lose some skin too. But as you know, a Drac's imitation hair is made of living polymorphic tissue, skin cells formed into fibers, so they can make it as strong as steel. In effect, he's pulling that vehicle with steel fibers, and since they're part of the skin, they can't be pulled out. There are other videos out there of Dracs pulling or lifting heavy objects with small body parts, noses, eyelids, earlobes, and even genitals. It's all the same. They can increase the strength of the tissues anywhere in their bodies, and you'll see more examples of this coming up. Lutho Lin is known as the Magnetic Man because he can make metallic objects stick to his body. But as shown in the upcoming video, he's not actually putting out a magnetic field. So he must be gripping the objects with his skin, either through a suction effect, by generating vacuum cups in his body below the objects, or by bonding with the metal at the cellular level, where the skin cells permeate the microscopic openings in the surface. If he did it with glass, you'd know if it's suction. But whatever the case, he's voluntarily moving his tissues around to achieve this, which is obviously shape-shifting. As you'll see, the bond is strong enough that he's able to pull a car from a metal plate stuck to his chest. Again, the V-sign leaves no doubt that he's a Drac, which explains why he can do this.
Known as Magnetic Man, 73-year-old Lutho Lin has been defying the laws of gravity for the past decade. Large metal objects inexplicably stick to his skin. And just using a metal plate stuck to his stomach, he can even pull a 1.5-ton car. He first discovered his bizarre powers when he was a construction worker, and his tools started sticking to him. They're the sort of feats that have attracted the interest of Dr. Mohammed Amin from Malaysia's University of Technology. He wanted to discover if the secret was a magnetic field.
There's no magnetic field that I can detect here.
They're quite extraordinary, which needs further investigation. So far, the Magnet Man's bizarre powers has the experts baffled, but it does seem to be genetic. Lutho's grandchildren now have this unusual power. Well, sometimes.
There are many car jumping and parkour videos out there, and nearly all of the individuals doing this are Dracs. They could be doing this with pure strength, or it may be a combination of strength and levitation. Humans can't do this, and if you did make an attempt, you'd end up seriously injured or dead. The Dracs have nothing to fear, because even if they make a mistake, they can always levitate out of danger. And even if they get hit, they can regenerate their bodies back to normal. This guy and the next two are definitely using levitation. He's reverting his left hand to its native form. The talons are very clear on this one, as is the green skin tone. So this proves that he's a Drac. That's why he can do this. A human cannot perform this move. Not without the use of technology anyway. He begins to morph his hand back to its human imitation form. Now he's reverting his right hand. Here are more demonstrations of levitation. These last two are flying, generating forward motion in addition to levitation. You've seen that they have great strength and agility. Now you're going to see how fast they can run. These are Russian police chasing a suspect. Later in the video, you're going to see an officer chasing the vehicle on foot. He's running so fast that he closes the distance in only a few seconds, and then gets into the vehicle through the passenger side door. They must be going at least 40 miles or 64 kilometers per hour. For him to catch up to the vehicle that fast, he'd have to be running close to 50 miles or 80 kilometers per hour. As you watch him run, notice how effortless it looks, like he's gliding. The date stamp on the video is a little hard to make out, but it looks like 4/13/2013 to me, so that would be another 13th, though not a Friday. I have seen unnaturally fast walking and running in person as well, though not as fast as this. The motion did look very similar to this, like they were gliding with very little resistance. So it's likely that they achieved this speed with the assistance of levitation by making themselves lighter and perhaps even generating force in the forward direction.